Hello, welcome to Connect You to Africa. In today's video, I really want us to touch on this great topic that I believe it's long due for us to talk about. So if you just joined, please just go ahead and comment below and also smash the like button and just let me know where you're watching from. I'll also go ahead and drop the link so you can go ahead and join the conversation as well. I think it has been a long time. It's about time we go ahead and discuss these issues. Um, it's it's a lot of conversation that goes on about why Africa is still in this situation. And me coming from Ghana and growing up on the continent and learning the history about Europeans colonization and everything, it's been almost 400 years, past 600 years. And is it time for us to really take responsibility, or do we have to keep blaming Europeans for whatever we're going through? So if you just joined, please just go ahead and smash that like button and also just comment below. Let me just give you a quick shout out. And it's a great time for us to really talk and discuss about these issues and come to a common ground and find a solutions to our problem. In my perspective, I don't think we can go ahead and keep blaming Europeans for our problems. But hey, it's a ground for us to discuss and share our opinions as well. And at the end of the day, we can learn a lot from it. But yeah, I just dropped the link. If you really want to join, you can join. You don't have to show your face. You can join with voice and just share. Is it time, or should we just keep blaming Europeans for our problems? Trust me, 54 countries, a lot of resources, a lot of human resources, but there's a lot going on. There's so much issues and so much problems that we go through. And every day the conversation is oh, it's the fault of Europe, is the fault of Europe, is white people problem. They're making it hard for us to succeed. How long can we go on with this issue? So I think we need to talk about it. At this point in the situation we find the continent, is it true that we can go ahead and keep blaming Europeans for our issues? Now, if you can comment below and I can read your comment, or you can join. I know it's really late, it's like 11:15 p.m., but those whoever is up, you can go ahead and join and comment below as well. And if you couldn't join, you can always watch. If you're watching later on, you can always drop your comment. I think a lot of people will read through the comment as well. So just go ahead. Let's wait for a few people to join. It's pretty much late, but I believe we can have a great discussion at this time. So go ahead and comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. We currently have 2 people, so let's just keep waiting. Abdul Aziz Yakubu, where you watching from? Yeah, so I believe it's a great time for us to discuss. Should Africa keep blaming Europe or white people for our current situation, our current problems? What do you think? Do you think it's time for us to take responsibility, or it's time for us to still keep blaming? It's almost past 600 years. We've been through colonization, exploitation, a lot of stuff. But guess what? We still have abundance on the continent, and we still keep blaming Europeans for our issues. When at all are we going to fix it without trying to find somebody to shift the blame on? I personally believe if you think about excuses first, you never even think about the solution. So all what we've been doing for the past 600 years is to keep shifting blame on Europe and saying, well, this is what happened. This is what happened. So we are where we are today because of what you did 600 years ago. But this is the time for us to look back and learn a lesson. In my perspective, at this point, anything going on with Africa is our personal problems. We make this an issue. Whatever we're going through, whether it's hardship, bad economy, we are currently responsible for that. But I think there's a lot of people out there that might have a different opinion, and I just want us to have that conversation. Now, if you cannot join the live, you can still drop your comment below. Um, I have a comment from Supreme, said Africa better start keeping their house clean. That's number one. We want to visitation land where Black people respect the cleanliness of the environment, no matter where it is on standards app. Yes, I believe at this point, whatever we're going through, whatever issue, whatever problems that we have on the continent, we are solely responsible for it. If you allow yourself to be taken advantage of, how long can you keep doing it? It's just, one, two, three, and you realize, no, you cannot let this happen, right? So at this point, most of our situation, in my personal opinion, is our fault. We are responsible for it, and we need to really stop the excuses. 600 years after colonization, can we still go ahead and say Europeans are just stepping on our neck? They're not really making us succeed. No, I think our leaders are the main problem right now. They sort us out, they failed us. And if they can take responsibility, if they can just go ahead and stop the excuses, trying to always find a reason why Europeans don't want us to succeed, then we can look back and say, well, it's about time we need to work on ourselves. It's about time, if we are facing economic issue, we need to sit down, do analysis, create more employment, build more industries, and bring employment rate high, invest in our people, and increase our human resources. We need to really take responsibilities and stop blaming Europeans. We have done it for 600 years. What has been the outcome? And I always keep saying, until we wake up, just like Chinese people did, just like China has already done and proven this work, until we wake up and take responsibility, no one will come and save us. No one can fix our problems. No one can really bring a solution. We need to know it's our fault, and we are responsible for our survival. Africa as a whole has to heighten standard. That's how you go from third to second. Yes, and China did it. Chinese people just 50 years ago came up and fixed the economy and was able to, currently try to taking over every continent, every economy. Why can't we do it? Do we have to still sit back and enjoy and keep blaming Europeans? I think it's too naive right now to have that conversation, to think it is the fault of Europeans. That's why we currently not succeeding. If you sit in your house and you let somebody come in and take over and take over and take over, and you're not doing nothing, you are enjoying the abuse. You are enjoying the retrogression. You are actually benefiting. That's why you're not taking responsibility in bringing the change. So I think this is my personal assessment, my opinion on that we need to really be responsible for our problems instead of trying to keep bringing up the white problem all the time. That can never be the solution. That can never be the solution. So if you want to join and share your comment, drop your opinion, I just posted a link below. Just click on the link. You can join with voice note. You can join and drop your submission. At this point, should Africa blame Europeans for our current problems, or should we take responsibility? Yes, Miss Blue, I'm doing awesome. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for checking in. Just click on the link below and you can join in. You don't have to show your face. You can just drop voice conversation. I know it's too late, but it is really about time we discuss this issue. China did it because China put Asians first. Don't let that go over your head. Yes, we need to take responsibility for our problems. We cannot keep going on blaming white people and Europeans for our problem. For the past 600 years, we have, and we still blaming them. We need to be responsible. We need to come up and say, it is our fault right now that this is happening to us. Just look at Ghana, right? Just look at Ghana. Politicians are taking advantage of us. Our own people, our own politicians come in power and sell us out. This is not the fault of another man, another white man in France or in America. No matter the political agenda and excuses we can create, we can find thousand reasons why we can put our people first and fix our economy and fix our people, do good and become a superpower, just like China did 50 years ago. So um, just clicking and join the conversation. China is one communist country. Africa is 54 separate countries. You're comparing apples to oranges. Right. Now, this is a good analysis. This is a good input. But guess what? China is one communist country. Africa is 54 separate countries. Now, that's something we all know exists. We know it's a problem. We have seen that problem since Nkrumah started the Pan-African Initiative. It's been more past 100 years. If we have initiated the African Union, the ECOWAS, then we already know that Africa needs to unite for our progress to really take effect, right? So why can't we work on that? Why can't we force that energy? Why can't we hammer on that and achieve it? I think we know the problem, but the moment we keep putting the excuses first, because China is a communist country, that's why they were able to survive. That's one big excuse. That's one big excuse. We can find reasons why we can do it without putting the excuses first. So I think no matter your situation, no matter your problem, the moment you think about excuses first, you miss the solution. So instead of us finding reasons why China was able to do it better than us, we can find a reason why we can do it better than China. It's all about the mindset, how we see the problem. Is Ghana building right now? Ghana is not what it's supposed to be. If you look at how far and comparing our country to other countries and, trying to analyze, where we could be and where we can be and where we should be, then Ghana is not really building. Ghana is still what? Stationary, stagnant. We're not progressing. Our politicians and our own people are selling us out. And I don't think it is the fault of, France, Britain, Germany, Russia, or China. It's our own people. It's our fault. No, they shouldn't keep blaming Europeans because it has become a crutch not to deal with our issues while also not doing anything. Yes, for over 600 years, we keep blaming. We keep blaming. Click on the link. Click on the link and join the conversation. Just 2 minutes to 1 minute, you can drop your comment. I would deal with China all day, but I would never develop a debt with them. Yes, it's all good to do business with whoever you want to do business, as long as we all have mutual interest and proportionally profitable, then it's always good. But when you sit in front of the table and you let another man or another country beat you in a business transaction, you cannot blame them. It's your fault for not doing your research or not knowing how to play the game to win. So we can never, in no circumstances or sentences or equation, can we say, after 400, 600 years, it's still the fault of Europeans. Click on the link and join the conversation, and let me add, it was just 2 minute, 1 minute. Africa's problem is lack of love, care, and concern for each other, period. There is plenty of blame to go around bad leadership and bad intentions that come with foreign investments. Yes, so at this point, like, if we want to sit here, we can name 1,000 excuses and 1,000 reasons why Africa is still what it is, right? But then we have been putting the excuses in front of our thought process, of our actions and everything for the past 600 years. When are we going to take responsibility? When are we going to say it's time to really solve our problems? When? Because the blame hasn't solved anything, right? The excuses. You at this point in this 2021, Can we still keep blaming Europeans? Ghana have timber, cocoa, bauxite. We have everything. A country of 30 million people. We don't need foreign aid. We need good leadership. We need people who care, to think that their citizens come first, that we want to see progression in our country, in the life of our people. We want to invest in the human resources. We want to expand our economy and help other African countries. We want to do good for ourselves. These are the simple, basic, tangible reasons we need to just be on the right path. But guess what? We don't. So we sit back and put white people in front because of what happened 600, 400 years ago and say, well, we are where we are because, colonization happened. So we can progress. So we can think right now, and make our economy better. Or we can, think about people and build better schools and build better economy for them. We can do that. We can find a way to turn our natural resources into what? Household product that we can export and help build our economy. No, we can negotiate on the international market and want the best deal for our people without compromising anything. No, we can do this. No, are you thinking about what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of excuses that makes us look like kids and failures. At this point, we cannot blame Europeans. We live in a survival world, survival instinct. The strongest will always come in and take. You have to be wanting to fight back and defend yourself, else you will always be run over. And we cannot sit there and feel sorry. Click on the link and join the conversation because I'm currently tired of talking. So Miss Blue Love said, exactly, speaking it, we have excuses on why we can't rather than having some foresight and trying to do something productive as a unit. It then becomes our fault just as much as the oppressors. But all blacks must look in the mirror and stop asking for help and help ourselves. Development comes from care, love, curiosity, challenge, and concern. True. Africa needs elevation from the diaspora. It must be the glue understanding of our repatriations. We must also understand, and I say this as a 20-year Air Force vet, the whole world sees all black people as the same. We must wake up to that. You are right. It's time for us to take control of our destiny. We need not face prejudices from our own. Click on the link and drop your input. Just don't let me talk so much because I'll get exhausted. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to really motivate ourselves to say, hey, stop the blame. It's not going to be white people's fault for the next 1,000 years. It's not going to be their fault for wanting the best for their own kind. It's your fault for not thinking about your own people first. It is our fault. At this point, if Ghana's economy, if African countries cannot progress, it is our fault. We are responsible for every issue going on right now with our economy, with our people, with our standard of living and everything. We cannot blame white people anymore. Blame Europeans. I don't care how political it is, but it is our fault for not wanting to fight back, challenge ourselves, because our leaders are ripping us, selling us out, and then all we do in the name of Pan-Africanism and blame Europeans. How does that solve our issues? How does that fix our economy? How does that in the next 100 years make us better? In China, if China was able to wake up, come back, and just 50 years or within just a century, if China can become a superpower, looking where they were in the same predicament and state, just like Africa was, if they were able to do it by putting their people first, by wanting the best for their economy, investing their human resources, trying to elevate themselves, building communities and businesses, and trying to support themselves, if they were able to do it, we can. But we not, because we still think it's the fault of another man, of another skin color, of another people. And I think we have been doing it for the past 600 years and it hasn't been no solution, we need to try a different approach. We need to. We need to. We need to. Drop, just click on the link and join. Just click on the link and join. You know, just click the link and join. Just click the link and join. I just want to hear another input. I just want to hear somebody drop some information. I just want to hear another person talk. Just don't let me talk. It just took China 20 years to rebuild properly by teaching their citizens how to build nations, maintaining and more. Just 20 years. I was even far-fetched with a 50 years start, but just 20 years. Just a change of mindset. Just a change of mindset. If China was able to do it with just a change of mindset, we are where we are because of the way we think. It's easy to always blame the next man for your incompetence, for your problems, for your issues. It's always easy. That's the easiest approach. If you don't want to deal with your problems, the easiest approach is to what? Blame the next man for your what? Incapabilities and irresponsibilities. Stop saying that we can't blame the Europeans. You are making them feel good. They have an underpinning hold on our progress. We have been doing it for 600 years. How does making them feel bad change our situation? Answer that question for me. Thank you for joining, brother. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
You know, I'm doing okay. I cannot complain that much.
Good. We've talked a few times before. You were going to help me come to Ghana, but instead I only had time to go to two countries last year. I went to Ethiopia and to Nigeria.
Wow.
I hope to be able to come to Ghana next year sometime.
Okay, we do have a trip in May, so in case you are interested to join it, you know, you can.
So far, it looks like I'll be able to. So
okay,
I'll let you know.
All right.
But on to the topic that you've been talking about, I do believe that we need to stop paying attention to the specific tribes we come from. Stop even looking at the specific colonial nations that were built by the colonialists. We should be looking at us as one people and working together as one people, no matter where we come from, because we're everywhere around the world. There's over 1 billion of us globally, and we're everywhere. We speak every language. We know every trade. We know how to do everything. We all have to just work together as a people and rebuild our own nations, work together with our own people. We can do it. We just need the confidence to do it and maintain it. That's all we need to do. And we can do it. We just need to get our confidence back and pursue that.
Now, what was your assessment being in two African countries? You went to Nigeria, you went to Ethiopia. You know, you saw many issues, many, you know, petty problems that we, you know, if we just wanted to solve it, we could have solved it. I mean, what was your assessment? You know, I mean, there's the good side of it, but let's look at the problems that you saw, and you know, what was your assessment?
At least with when I was in Ethiopia, the issues, I didn't see that many issues within. At least I visually did not see that many issues in Gondar. That's where I was the longest.
Okay.
But when it comes to in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, one of the issues that I did see is that with some of the different tribes that are in Addis, those tribes don't speak to one another.
Wow.
Sometimes they don't speak to one another at all. They will. Some people I noticed would even look at each other and basically say, "Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. That I don't speak to you because you're from that tribe and whatnot." And then it's somewhat even similar still within Nigeria. Nigeria, like A lot of people, like a lot of the Igbos, Yorubas, they don't like the Fulanis. A lot of them don't like Fulani and whatnot. And sometimes some of the Igbos don't like the Yorubas, or the Hausas don't like these people, the Yorubas, or vice versa, and all that other kind of mess. These are silly arguments that need to stop.
Because
And
at the end of the day, you know, I know in Nigeria the northern part hate the southern part. You know,
yes, that is very true.
if you live in one house, right? It's just like living one house and two brothers. One don't like one, but then they're forced to live within the same house. How do they progress? How do they build? Because they're always fighting. So, and that issue right there, based on your assessment, cuts across every African country. In Ghana, there are certain tribes that don't really will not put certain tribes in maybe certain positions, no matter their qualification, whether they can do the job or not. You know, as long as you're from this tribe, we don't want you in that position.
Yes, like
So
maybe I, in a way, I think that maybe we should do something like with what they did in Rwanda, with how they were able to solve their issues with the tribal issues and have people in power from every single tribe. It ends a lot of argument. Not one tribe is above the other. No one is below the other. Everyone needs to look at each other as an equal, and choose how we're going to move forward as a people. We can't stay stagnant like we have been in a
right,
lot of nations. We can't be stagnant. We
right,
could be. Oh, sorry.
yeah, and the reason why I even talked about this topic is looking at this situation. You know, if I'm an Ashanti, you are an Ewe, and you know we live in the same country, and I'm not really trying to assimilate and accommodate you just like you accommodating me, and we building together and all that stuff. How does that really contribute to another European or maybe the French people out there? Whatever they're doing, whether it's politics or not, the fact that we internally don't understand ourselves is causing more harm than them sitting out there, whatever they did 600 years ago to us.
Yes, like even though there is a lot of truth that the Europeans, the Arabs, and whatnot not had purposefully got us to argue amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it happened. It happened. But are we children? Are we
Mm-hmm.
just going to still go off of what these other people said and keep arguing with each other, or are we going to be mature adults, because we are, and actually solve our problems ourselves? We have to make a decision now on if we're going to actually do anything different, or are we going to just remain in turmoil and just let these other people from other nations, these other races, rule over us? It's either we make a decision now or stay subservient.
Right. Thank you so much. I have Nick on the. Oh, I think he just left. But I appreciate your input. I'm glad you were able to take the opportunity and go to Nigeria, Ethiopia. When you get a chance, you can do Senegal, Ghana, to great places as well. And as long as you keep, exploring, make sure, if you see an investment opportunity, it's always good to, take it.
Well, there's one thing that I'm already doing right now. I'm starting a farm and whatnot in Nigeria. So
Okay.
that's one thing that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to be spreading into Ghana as well. So,
all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you from joining. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So if you want to join Nick, just go ahead and click on the link and you can join. But yeah, if you haven't taken a trip to the continent, try your possible best to take a trip. But like I said, at this point, we cannot find a single reason why we cannot do it. All we've been doing so far is excuses. And I think we need to stop. Now China is training little kids programming, how to code, how to do this. They're teaching their, they are investing more in the education system, technology, nuclear educations, trying to really discover and, do research. When you go to Africa, what are we doing? There are no future path and no future plans for the next generation. And what we do is to say we are where we are because of colonization. Tell me one country across the globe that wasn't affected by another country ruling them. Germany, every country at one point got ruled, got colonized in another sense. So when are we going to sit down and be like, hey, we need to wake up? We need to put that tribal stuff. I'm an Ashanti, I'm an Ewe. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Click on this link and let me know what you think. Let me read some comment. You have to understand the thinking behind European supremacy. It's real. It's not a figment of imagination. You have to understand a war exists in order to break it down. We have known this war exists for the past 600 years. We all do know the war exists. At this point, the only person that does not know this is because they haven't really taken time to analyze and learn our history. But at this point, any Black person on the planet knows about white supremacy. They know about racism. They know all these stuff. We know. For how long can we sit down and say it is the reason why we cannot progress? For how long? That's what I'm saying. I thought if African can come together as one as the visionary Kwame Nkrumah, but we must remember that his ideology caused his demise, and we continue to see the pattern of good African leaders fall. Nkrumah's demise was caused by his own people, by the influence of Europeans. But we cannot say that we didn't play a role in our own downfall or the downfall of Nkrumah. At the end of the day, when we point the finger, the fall shows back to us. We played a role in Nkrumah's downfall. The best tea in the world comes from Kenya. In order for Africans to be respected, Africa must be free. Yep. The way you carry yourself as a father, that respect, guess what? Back to your kids. It shows a reflection on your kids. So for Black people around the globe to get the maximum respect, we need to wake up. Africa needs to do good, needs to do better. That's the whole point. Sounds to me that for the diaspora moving to Africa, they are just changing one complexion of a problem for a darker complexion of the same problem. Black men must stand up and free Africa and bring respect to our women and children. We just need to know that we have to do better. Click on the link and join. Drop your submission. Drop your submission. My brother Daniel, you are right. Thank you so much, lovely Africa. I just don't want to be right. I'm just, sharing what I have observed and seen. The best mind from net to street dudes have to collaborate. Everybody got something somebody else ain't got. We all unique in our own ways. We must respect that about these we know, and those we don't know that are shade. Going back to our spiritual practice is the only way. And we have plenty of shades, real ones ain't confused about that. Drop. You can join the submission. Because I'm currently tired of speaking. So join and bring in your submission. But at this point, it's our fault. We are responsible for our problems. Africa allows China to come in and exploit. We allow Europeans to come in and exploit. They don't come in with guns and trying to kill us to exploit. We voluntarily, our leaders voluntarily bring them in to exploit. And then when they exploit and go, we sit down and say, well, we don't have clean water bodies or we don't have good roads because, China came in and exploited us. How is that possible? If you are a father and you sit home for somebody to come in and steal all your money that you have in your wardrobe, and you sit and blame them and say, well, I had money in here, but then this guy came in and stole it. Not just one time, second, third, fourth, fifth, they keep coming in. And you sit down and you say, well, I'm broke, I'm poor, because this guy always come in and steal the money I keep in my wardrobe. How does that make sense? At one point, you should be able to sit down and say, well, this is the 10th time. On the 11th time, I'm going to defend myself, or I'm going to change where I keep the money so they don't find it. It takes basic understanding of this, right? To protect what you have, to love what you have worked hard for, so no one can take it away from you. It is not hard. Just get on camera and speak. It's not hard. Get on camera and speak. You don't have to show your face. You can click on the link and just show audio. Africa's economy is intricately tied to the West. You guys cannot even build your own infrastructure without Europeans' help. We cannot build our own infrastructure without the help of Europeans, simply because we haven't taken the initiative of researching and investing in our engineers to learn, get the highest education, and give them the funding to build our infrastructure. That's just simple. It's not that we cannot do it. We are not trying to support ourselves to do it. That's the whole point. All of them come with a smart offer, this or that, on the do as they please. If you keep getting your lunch money taken every day, sooner or later you will have to stand up and confront the bully. It's simple as ABCD. Black men must stand up to the bully, not our women. Don't worry, ma. I'm coming to Ghana to help liberate the youth. Please join and speak. How long have we been talking? 37 minutes. If we don't get any more submissions when it's 40 or 45 minutes, we will call this a day. But I just want everyone to know, at this point, we should stop blaming the white man, the Europeans, the Dutch, the British, the Russians for our problems. We need, at this point, if we don't have good internet service, if we don't have good electricity, despite all the sunshine on the African continent, then I can firmly say we're not reasoning. We're not channeling our energy into ourselves. We don't have self-love, and we don't have a vision as a people. Because if we do, we will sit down and say, why? We have this problem. How do we solve it? 1,000 years ago, or let's say 500, 600 years ago, if the white man sat down and realized that the only thing separating, Africa and Europe is the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, that was a major problem to the white man. How do I get to the other part of the world, but without sinking in the ocean? When they saw the problem, they spent years in building ships for them to get on and ride all the way to the continent. So when there's a problem, you find a solution, not an excuse of why you cannot do it. Imagine as humans, we never thought about trying to fly as fast as possible. There would not be no airplanes. So if we sit down and say, well, we can do this because there's a problem, it's our fault. It is our fault at this point. Our women and children see the disrespect we black men put out with. Nigeria needs better electricity badly. Electricity go out at least 2 to 3 times a day. A day. We can develop solar panels. So many engineers on the continent. So much sunshine and sunlight in Nigeria, so much human resource, and they can figure it out. It's not the fault of France. It's not the fault of the UK's. It's the fault of Nigerians, the leaders. It's their fault. They are fighting over I am a Fulani, I'm an Yoruba, I'm an Igbo, petty, unnecessary things that we take pride in. Is baseless at this point. We in 2021, nobody cares if you are an Yoruba or you are an Igbo. Nobody cares if you're a Fulani. It doesn't change. It doesn't fix the economy. Why do we have to just entertain this thinking for 600 years? It hasn't changed anything for us. It's about you being a Nigerian. I see you as a Nigerian, and we get our problems solved together. That's the solution. That's the path. You know, I mean, petty argument that we fight over, and we sit down and be like, oh, it's the fault of France, is the fault of the Chinese coming in and taking our resources. It's the Chinese, it's their fault, it's their problem. We don't see the good in us, we don't see the good in what we have. Someone will come in and take it, and we cannot blame them for that. We also need to invest into Wi-Fi is not going to work in African nations. Freedom is never free and respect is, and Africa needs to become a beehive. You touch one, you touch all. You are promoting white man supremacy from the defeatist way you are talking. However you want to see it, that's your perspective, right? That's your perspective. But you chose to see it that way, and guess what? I can never convince you. Trade needs to be made easy with any African nations. Trade needs to. If white supremacy exists, how do we fight it? How do we overcome it? How do we take over? That should be the conversation. That shouldn't be the reason why. Oh, this and that. Come on, man. Come on, man. At this point, come on. I don't want to even entertain that conversation about this exists, that exists, this is the problem, this is the reason why, this is the reason why, this is the reason why, this is the reason why. We've had it over and over and over and over. It didn't do us no good. So what? It exists. So what? Like, so we cannot fight back and win it. So we cannot do better. We cannot invest in our children, in our family structure. We cannot, invest in our people so we can take over. Come on, we should stop that top process of you are entertaining white supremacy and all that stuff. We've known that for 500 years. We've known that, and if we haven't been able to fight back, that should be the conversation. How do we overcome that problem? Nobody's entertaining that. You've had this conversation about this exists, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why. How many times haven't you had that conversation? It makes you feel good, right? That this is, we are where we are, so I can cry 247 that we couldn't make it as a nation, as a country, as a continent, because what colonization exists 600 years ago. In 2021, we still can progress, we still can have fast internet, good electricity, good roads, and good hospital because of white supremacy. Come on, man. Come on. Stop. 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 I don't want to entertain that conversation with you. Stop. Yes. Amara, how you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself, Mr. Connect?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm so hyper right now. I'm so hyper for this conversation. But thank you so much for joining. I'm listening to you. Are you
Okay.
there?
I'm from Sierra Leone, and I
Okay.
lived in been in America for 20 going on 24 years. This is my last year, yeah.
Okay.
And all those 24 years I ran businesses back home. I go back home every year. And I got my family farm, which we all invest in as a family. I got my house and business. You know, there's all the plenty other things that I got in my kingdom that we're running. This is the problem right there. Comfort zone.
Okay.
You know, comfort zone. People always complain about the government. U.S. the U.S. government, the European government are not the same as African governments. You know, the only people that are going to take care of Africa is Africans. You know, the only people. I'm telling you, where I live at, where I built my house. Yeah, several people from the diaspora. Some rich people got businesses. Some people coming up as a football player. They went to Belgium, got some money. Build big houses around where I live at. When it comes, I said, let's fix the road. Everybody was like, that's the government's responsibility. Come on, you driving all these nice, expensive $60,000, $80,000 cars coming through there. Your tires are getting busted. You go to the mechanic all the time. You rather spend that money with the mechanic than fix the road. You know, I and one of my cousins that work for the roads department, we fixed half the road. Just the part where I could come from the main road to my place. You know, I try to get those guys to do that. They won't do that. That's the typical mentality. The typical mentality of not taking responsibility. We don't want to take responsibility. Who makes the government? We make the government. Yeah, we're the people. Yeah.
Now, let me. What do you think about this comment? He said, "Bro, you blind as hell. The colonizer put up borders and set all the rules. The white people have divided Africa up so much and have Africans fighting each other." What do you think about this comment?
The white man did what he did. He's okay. Now it's up to us to do what we can do. Generation after generation don't think the same. What my granddaddy was thinking is not what my daddy was thinking. What my father was thinking is not what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is not what my son is going to think. So every generation can change the systems. The systems are put in place. For example, you go to school, they say we got to speak English. Okay, they beat you to speak English in school. When you come out of school, you speak in all your African languages. Okay. When you are the one that hire. When you have in your business, when you've grown, you didn't like that system. When you're hiring people, why don't you hire people that speak African languages?
Right.
Why does he have to be people that went to school and have a school leaving certificate or a degree? You know, that's where you make the changes. Yes, the British came in and put the laws in place, but are you upholding their laws or are you creating your own? That is a major problem. The idea of thinking for yourself, that is a problem. We do not want to. Go ahead.
And you know, just to respond to this comment, let me just take it one by one. He said, "I'm blind as hell because the colonizer put up borders and set all the rules, and the white people divided Africa so much and have Africans fighting each other." You and I can agree to this. I think about half of the African population can agree with this, right? This happened more than maybe 600 years ago, right? We have realized this past 100 years ago. That's why we have the ECOWAS. That's why we have African Union. That's why we just launched the free trade agreement, right? We know these problems, right? We already know. So as now that we know the problems, how do we solve it? We cannot keep saying because they did this, we should be where we are, because you know what, they put up these walls and that's why we fighting each other. If I'm in a country like Sierra Leone or in Ghana, I'm an Ashanti and I'm an Ewe. Me fighting an Ewe has nothing to do with colonization. Tribalism
Exactly.
existed long before colonization. We just have to what, be dynamic and what, revolutionize the way we think. We need to really change. We don't want to change. You go to Ghana right now, there are certain tribes that cannot get into certain industry because they are not from another tribe. How does
Exactly.
colonization play a role in this? Come on,
Yeah.
man. Come
Yeah.
on. You know,
You know, people don't want to take up responsibilities. You see, one good thing in Africa that I like, all the capital cities.
hmm
That should be a good example of how Africa is going to go ahead, get ahead. All the
hmm
capital cities has all the tribes, right?
hmm yeah.
All the capital cities have all the tribes because you know what? People had to leave the village and go to the
Mhm.
city to improve themselves.
And guess
Okay,
what?
so now,
We live
yeah,
together in the city, cool, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So if you live to the city and cool, you found a way to get along.
Right.
Because if you stayed in the village, you go to school, you're not gonna get a job.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
don't make it to the city, you're not gonna get a job. Then you're not gonna improve yourself. Your kids are not going to go to school. Your wife is not going to have a good business. Where people are, that's where you are. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the lame excuse to say
Yep.
the colonizers divided. No, the capital city, everybody goes to Accra or Freetown or Lagos, Abuja or wherever the capital cities are in Africa. You go there for opportunities because that's where the opportunities is. People intermarry
Mm-hmm.
because, in fact, in capital cities, they don't look at tribes. They
Yep.
look at social status
Yep.
or education or what the women look at what you can do for me. Exactly. So they don't look at what tribe, where you from, what tribe you are, or whatever. You know. So if it works in the capital cities in Africa, why can't it work for the rest of the countries? People
Mm-hmm.
go to look at in Ghana. People speak Twi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because
Mm-hmm.
all the tribes like to speak Twi, but because that's what you have to do to get along. It's the same thing in Sierra Leone. In Freetown, people speak Creole. People come
Right.
from different tribes, which is Creole, which is broken English. You speak it because you got to communicate and you got to get ahead, not because you want to,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only way you can advance yourself. So if that works, why can't it be
We
for the
do
rest of
it.
the country? I just don't. That
Yep.
guy that made that comment is just
Yeah. Like I said,
it,
we know the problems. We just tend to. I think it's easy to always blame and sit down and do nothing, right? Instead of taking responsibility. Now, for Ghana, for example, the reason why this topic even came about is, the current Ghanaian president, instead of investing in the people, he just trying to spend $100 million to build a national cathedral in a country where we don't have even good education. We still have what, people in the northern part of Ghana not having access to internet, electricity, good
yeah.
water to drink. How do you do that? And you go to Europe and France and sometimes go sit there and have a speech and come back. How do these play a role in colonization at this point? If Rwanda was able to come back from genocide and try to figure things out and get the economy in a standpoint where Ghana can go to Rwanda to learn about waste management. If Ghana, that has never gone through genocide, can go to Rwanda, that went to that situation to learn about waste management, then this is just a typical example of we can do it no matter the circumstances. If you look at what happened to Rwanda and how they have been able to get on their feet to this point, it's not a miracle. It's just a change of mindset. It's just coming
Exactly.
together, realizing, you being a Yoruba, you being from this place, this tribe, and a tribe has nothing to do with nation building. You
Yeah.
know, Now we don't live as tribes. We live as what? Citizens. We live as nationals. We don't live as tribes. So why can't we bypass that mindset? It has nothing to do with, colonization. We can have borders. When you go to UK, right? UK, Germany, Holland, these are all European countries separated by borders too. Why are they progressing? It has nothing to do with the borders that has been set up. It's just the mindset. If Holland can get along with Germany, with France and UK and Norway and still live separately and do good, we can. We don't even have to unite on a continent level. We just need to know we need to do better for ourselves and our people.
It's good you brought the Rwanda example, because in Rwanda, there's a law that says nobody should tell anybody what tribe you come from. It's a law.
Wow. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I didn't even know. This is what I'm talking about.
There's no Tutsi. There's nothing like that. The Rwandan, if anybody catches anybody calling anybody by tribe, even foreigners, when you go over there, they give you a tribal advisory. Do not call. Second, they don't take tips.
Wow.
That's what Paul Kagame. Yep. You do them a favor, they do you a favor, and they don't take money back. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah, you want to give them money, they say no. Then he instituted another law that there are no tribes. Everybody's a Rwandan.
Wow.
Everybody's a Rwandan. It's against the law.
See,
so
oh man, come on. Thank you. I didn't know this. See, this is an issue that has been going on. People say, oh, we can never solve tribalism. It's just a law. When you force the people to follow, they will follow regardless. And we need a leader. If Paul Kagame didn't want their country to progress, they wouldn't have progress. It's just the leaders thinking, oh, we need to set this rule to get us going. And this is a typical big solution to tribalism. It's good you just brought it up. You cannot call me an Ashanti. You cannot call me an Ewe. You call me by my name, and I'm a Ghanaian. It has nothing to do with the tribe I'm from. This mindset can get us, ooh, wow. That's a great information. That's a great information. I never, ever knew that. Wow. 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 Are you still there? If you want to join, you can go ahead and join. If you want to join, you can go ahead and join. Wow, that's so because I was always wondering why Rwanda was able to fix their situation within that shortest possible time, despite the type of situation they went through as a people. And I think this answers it all for me. So they have laws, regulation, bylaws that says you cannot call me by any tribe. You address me as a Rwandan, not by my tribe. Impressive information. Wow. Wow, we learn something every day. That's good to know. You see, it's not about the borders. It's the mindset. It's not about the borders. The physical borders don't do anything. The physical borders don't do anything. It's just the mindset. When you go to Germany, when you go to Holland, when you go to Norway, these countries share borders just like Ghana share, borders with Nigeria, Togo, Benin, but they are doing well. They're not saying, well, we should come together and be called one country or one continent. No, they are doing pretty well. It's just the mindset. It has nothing to do with the physical borders. We can come together and take the borders away and say, well, Africa as a whole, 54 countries, is now a federal state. If we don't have the right mindset, we will be fighting Nigerians, we will be fighting Rwandans, we will be fighting each other, regardless of the physical border. It's the mind. It's the mind. I did not know that there was a law like that in Rwanda. Thank you for that information. Thank you too. That is why I was able to fix it so quickly. If nobody is this or that and everyone is looked as one thing, it eliminates the problem. Africans must work together with one purpose, a free Africa that cares for all its people. It's okay to be different as long as everyone understands the goal. Thank you so much. If you don't have any more people to call in, we can call it a successful life and a happy night today. We've learned something, and as we move on, let's treat our people with the best. Let's always be willing to invest in our people, to help and put our people in the right position to succeed. The smallest you can do, it will really contribute to the future generation. Let's respect and love our women as much as possible. As men, our ego is so high, and we have deviated from the main goal, which is family. But we make mistakes, and if we can stay together and have these conversations and encourage ourselves, we can always do better. If not on our time, in our next generation, they can do better for us and leave the future and the dream we wanted for our people. So I really appreciate everyone for joining in, and if you haven't subscribed or joined the channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you once again. If you want to maybe travel to Ghana, Tanzania, Egypt next year, you can also go ahead and, just give me a call or email me. If you also need a visa to Ghana, if you want a 24 hours visa and all that stuff, I have a video comment that can really help you get your visa within 24 hours, or within a few days. If you just need help with the process, you can always reach out to me, or africatravelers.com, and we can help you do it. Until then, see you another time, and stay blessed.